Hello and welcome. You're watching FI. I am Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Now we live in an instant world, a world of instant likes, instant gratification, instant food. And especially during the pandemic, we all fell in love with an instant appetite as well. Also during the pandemic, a lot of us picked up cooking. I know I did. But one thing that you still don't get instantly, especially for those who are cooking, is groceries. Now that problem just might be about to be solved, and two young boys, all of 19, might have an answer to this. In fact, I have them right here with me on FII today, and let me introduce them to you. Adit Palicha and Valya Vora, all of 19, just 19. We have three speckies on frame at the moment. Hello boys, and welcome to FII. Well, they have now collectively raised between $200 to $300 million. And for their startup, Zepto, which promises to bring about groceries in just 10 minutes. So I have lots to ask, especially how this is going to work, what are the plans, etc. But let's go back, rewind a little to how you guys came up with this idea. I believe it was conceived just this year. You guys were at Stanford. You decided to not go ahead with it, but start something like this. How exactly did it happen? Adit, if you can begin.
Yeah, sure, Sonal. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you for the kind words. I think that's pretty generous of you. So in a nutshell, I mean, the way it started is, Keval and I were from Bombay. And we were super excited about working in the Indian ecosystem in Mumbai. I think generally India right now is exploding. We started off essentially out of frustration. I think in the middle of the pandemic, groceries were a major pain point for most people, especially for two younger bachelors living in an apartment in Mumbai. We started out of frustration. We couldn't get groceries delivered quickly. Most online services were taking 4 or 5 days, and we wanted to figure out how we could get groceries delivered much quicker, and that's sort of what started the rabbit hole. I think just one quick piece as well is that we haven't raised 200 or 300 million, although I wish we had. We raised today a total of 60 million at a valuation in that 200 to 300 million dollar range. So yeah.
All right. So the valuation is about that. Kavalia, what about you? So you guys just got frustrated and said, let's do it. How? But there are so many apps already delivering groceries out there. How are you competing? What is the model?
So yeah, I think we can get into the model. In terms of how we're competing, I think the biggest is the speed part, right? I mean, the reason why we were frustrated was that, right? Like, we tried all the different apps that were out there, but none of them were really cutting it in terms of the speed, right? Like, why wait for a couple of hours or the next day, right? And so yeah, that's sort of the biggest, I would say, differentiator in terms of what we're doing. Adit, do you want to chat a little bit about the model?
Yeah, I mean, so in a nutshell for us, I think what we noticed is that, getting deliveries locally or getting deliveries online was too extensive. And we actually figured out, after sort of spending months on optimization, that we could do deliveries in a very, very short period of time that just completely changed the way people experienced ordering groceries and like the way they looked at online delivery in general. So that's why we deliver in 10 minutes. It's a radical promise, but we're super excited about it.
Okay, so I'm talking about competition first, because this is an exhausted market, if one can call it that, especially during the pandemic. Everybody's gotten very used to ordering online. So there is Grow First, which also, by the way, says that they can deliver under 10 minutes. There is Dunzo, backed by Google. They say they do it in 19 minutes. There is Swiggy. There is Amazon Fresh, huge network that they have. And then there is Big Basket as well. How is Zepto different?
Yeah, so Sonal, if you look at the Indian startup ecosystem, it's generally a story of focus. Focus usually wins. If you look at delivery, they just filed to go public at a massive valuation. They completely beat out Amazon and Flipkart and B2B logistics just by being purely focused on one model. If you look at Rapido, they won against the Uber and the Olas of the world on bike taxis just because of pure vertical focus. I think that's currently one of our biggest advantages as a company. We're upstarts, are well-funded, we're growing incredibly fast, and we've built out what I feel is one of the strongest leadership teams in India today. And we're just bulletproof focused on perfecting this model, and it's reflecting in the customer experience. Today, our median delivery time is 8 minutes and 47 seconds.
Sorry, come again?
Yeah, sorry. Our median delivery time is 8 minutes and 47 seconds. And I think what we're seeing is that's significantly faster and significantly more consistent than most of our competitors out there. Right now, our competitors are either sort of, unable to execute all that well because of sort of a lack of a technology first mindset and a few other problems that they have internally. Or they're focused on trying to execute multiple different businesses and they haven't really perfected the art of getting a 10-minute or a quick commerce delivery done consistently. And, that's currently reflecting in how customers are, adopting Zepto, how fast we're growing. And yeah, I think right now, not super worried about competitive landscape. I think we're just focused on continuing to deliver a phenomenal experience and it's turning out to work for us as long as we keep focused on this model.
So you're in how many cities by now?
So today we're live in key areas across Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi and Chennai. Recently, we're also launching Hyderabad, Pune, and Kolkata in the next few days. So sort of a rapid expansion mode right now, but should be live in all the major metros by the end of this month.
Wow, so that means lots of these dark kitchens or cloud kitchens for you that's going to come up.
Yeah. It's you could consider it like a micro warehouse. It's not a kitchen. We sort of build out these delivery focused units across the city.
Right. And if, I can also come in on the fact, but it's, when it comes to delivery and it comes to food, and I do a lot of it, so the key thing here is freshness and the quality of the product that you're delivering, not just the time. Yeah. How are you guys going to maintain that?
Sure. So I think that really, the freshness part does come into play with a lot of the perishable items, right? Whether that's your fruits, vegetables, milk, bread, eggs, stuff like that. And the way we're really, focused on that is, we sort of built out a super high quality team from a lot of these other, not just e-commerce firms, but from other companies in India that have really nailed, the whole supply chain around, fresh and perishables. And on top of that, just working with the best quality vendors, right? And sort of not really not really compromising on freshness and quality. And on top of that, a bunch of both operational and sort of technology and product solutions around doing very rigorous and thorough quality checks, right? Before bringing stuff in. And also very, periodic checks on quality and freshness to make sure that whatever is leaving the warehouse to reach the customer's home is something that sort of at a quality that we're proud of, basically. And so, yeah, it's a lot of focus, like Khalid said, and sort of, just very, a very rigorous quality checking process. So those are two of the things.
Okay. While we talk and do all this shop talk right now, it's almost very easy to forget that you guys are just 19, right? CEOs at 19 and heads of startups at that age. Is that good, bad, ugly in the present scenario?
So I think, both Kevalia and I have been working on, multiple different projects from a very young age. We've actually sort of had a few, successful attempts as well at, smaller startups, albeit, but startups nonetheless. I think for us right now, it's age is significantly less important. I think it's actually gives us a lot of advantages, especially in the early days. It let us move a lot quicker, without any baggage, working at sort of older incumbent companies, unlike sort of a lot of other startup founders that have got sort of decades of work experience. I think the lack of baggage on our end gives us the ability to execute a lot quicker, think on first principles a lot more clearly. So yeah, I think, age isn't something that we really dwell on day to day. I know it's something that our employees don't really dwell on day to day. It's just about, executing as well as you can. And it's been a phenomenal learning experience. I mean, today, I feel like what we've learned in 4 months is probably 10x more than we would have learned in 4 years at any university. And yeah, we're just grateful about learning how to build teams and how to manage a growing company.
All right, that's quite fascinating. So it's not just aloo, pyaz, dhania that you guys are doing. There is much more in the basket. Take us through what all you have.
Yeah, we've got 2,500 SKUs across multiple different categories. SKUs as in products, sort of a technical term there. And think of it as like sort of an end-to-end grocery store. Everything from your diapers to your milk to shampoo, soap, etc., all the way from fruits and vegetables and snacks and chocolates. So we're trying to build sort of an end-to-end grocery use case. That's important to us. And yeah, we've got 2,500 plus SKUs across multiple different categories that you'd expect in a traditional grocery experience.
Right, because I read somewhere that there is also pan, there is also cut flowers and a lot of other stuff that is going to be part of it, which I thought was very fascinating. So you said a little while earlier that the picking, packing, handover experience is much shorter actually, and then it takes just about 10 minutes to deliver. I'm just wondering, how are you guys navigating through all that traffic?
Yeah, I think so. Most people assume that to get a 10-minute delivery done, there's some sort of crazy thing that we do on the delivery side. Like we've got like some jetpack bike or something like that. I think it's in reality, it's actually more so around the actual picking, packing and bagging process that we've implemented internally. So from the time that you check out on the app to the time that your groceries are picked, bagged and dispatched, that entire process is on average, 58 seconds today at Zepto. That's actually where a lot of the innovation is. When you look at actually the last mile side, today we positioned our dark stores in areas where we're a maximum distance away, like 3 kilometer distance away from our customers. It's about a 1.6 kilometer average time. And that to us, the average transit time is 7 minutes, and there's no sort of like hullabaloo we do there. It's sort of just a regular bike ride. The magic is actually packing the products so fast and getting them out the door so fast. The delivery side is fairly standard with just low distances because of how we positioned our stores in an area.
Right. So procurement process, all of that is going to be fascinating as well. But Kaivalya, coming on the part on, is it true that it was called Kirana Cart earlier? That sounds like a nice name, which brings me to what is Zepto? What does it mean?
Sure. So Zepto seconds are the shortest measurable unit of time, right, within physics. And so that's the whole idea, right? We're delivering super quick.
That's
and,
10,
so
21.
Yeah, that's why Zepto.
10 to the power minus 21.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, you were saying?
No, Kaivalya, go ahead.
I was saying that only, that it's the shortest unit of time. And so in terms of Kirana Cart, we played around with a couple of different models in the past, and then eventually settled on this whole, super quick delivery model with micro warehouses. And so, that's why we picked the name Zepto, just because signifies speed, essentially.
Right. All right. I think we know a lot about Zepto for now. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a quick rapid fire for the boys. We'll ask them 10 questions and 10 things that you need to know about Zepto. Let's see what these young entrepreneurs have in their kitty. That's coming up in a moment. Welcome back. We are chatting with the Zepto boys to try and understand what exactly is this new model all about. And it is this time where we take you through our 10 questions. It's going to be a rapid fire. I will toss between Adil and Kaivalya. So first question to Adil and next to Kaivalya, and you guys can take your cue post that. Okay. So boys, are you ready? Should we begin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So 10 questions for the 10-minute delivery app. Question 1. We know how long it takes to deliver groceries according to you. What happens if it does not reach in 10 minutes?
Yeah. In a nutshell, most of our orders, reach under the specific ETA that we give customers, and we customize an ETA for your location. So it can even be a 6-minute ETA or a 7-minute ETA. But if it doesn't get there, we usually sort of like reconcile with the customer either through like a discount, etc. But that's very rare these days, thankfully.
So no free delivery if it's not under 10 minutes is the question my director is asking.
We currently offer free delivery, by the way. We're growing pretty quickly in our cities, and we're currently full free delivery as of today.
So no charge. That's a good headline over there. Kaivalya, to you then, what all can I order through Zepto?
Sure. So you can order everything from fruits, vegetables, to meat, chocolates, soft drinks, diapers, and baby food, pharmacy, all of that stuff, band-aids, the whole thing.
All right. Then, what are the timings?
So I think right now we're live in most areas from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. So pretty much the whole day.
7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Okay, let me take the next one to Adit then. Are you too young to be a CEO at 19?
No.
Just leave it there. I think that's it. Let's go to the next one, and Kaivalya can answer that. How long have you guys been friends, and how's it going, being partners now?
Yeah, so we've been friends since we were, I think, 8 or 9, right? We used to play a lot of table tennis together at school, and then worked on a bunch of stuff throughout. Eventually, both of us got into Stanford, and so yeah, I think it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. I don't think either of us would have expected being here when we were 8, but regardless, I think it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, to Adit then, what is the last thing that you shopped for?
The last thing that I shopped for was about 20 minutes ago, a bag of nachos and some Twix chocolates.
Same question to you, Kaivalya.
Yeah, so I like this chocolate milk that we sell a lot, and I think I probably ordered some bananas as well.
I can smell and sense a bachelor pad right over there. Okay, let's go to the next one, Adil, to you. How did the idea of the 10-minute grocery actually come around, and how long did it take to build?
So it took us roughly about 3 months of experimentation to perfect the model. And the idea came along is when we were actually experimenting with grocery delivery. Initially, we wanted to do quick delivery. We imagined it as 45-minute. But when we cohorted our customers and just specifically analyzed our customer bases to see how they were reacting, customers that were getting deliveries done consistently within a 10 to 15-minute framework reacted much better, was spending much more on the platform, had much better retention and promoter scores. That's when we try to understand how do we just get this experience done for all of our customers instead of just like a small subset.
Right.
That we're getting it by chunk.
Kaivalya, then coming up with the idea was easy or convincing investors was easier?
I think, so yeah, the idea came after a lot of iteration, right? Like Adit said, we played around with a few different models and eventually sort of settled on this. In terms of convincing investors, I think like grocery largely has been a pretty exciting space within India. A lot of people have tried and failed. And I think this model is something that globally is done pretty well. And I think was an exciting model, right? I mean, once we got going and were actually delivering 10 minutes, right? And we had to speak to investors or even candidates that we're trying to hire. Just asking them to order once and experience that delivery themselves is more than enough to sort of convince people that this is going to be the next big thing.
Okay, you make it sound very easy. So that brings us to the last question. Both of you can take a go at that. And Adit, we'll begin with you. Who do you see as your immediate competition here?
So today, honestly, I mean, as a company, the culture we're building is not really competitive focused, it's customer focused. Right now, we're just building out an experience and a team and an underlying technology infrastructure that we feel is significantly better than what's currently out there. And that's been, fueling our growth. That's been the reason why customers love us so much. That's been the reason why we've been able to consistently deliver on our SLA. So honestly, like the very honest answer is I don't know, but I think what's more important to us is we're probably our own competition. We try to beat the benchmarks that we set.
Come on, I was expecting better than that from you guys. Kaivalya, you have a go at it now.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned a lot of the people that are sort of talking about doing quick deliveries, right? But when it comes to competition and sort of actually being able to deliver in that sort of sub 10-minute time frame, I seriously don't think that there's anyone really that's doing this or is as focused on this as well.
All right, guys, very good answers, some very smart ones. So clearly learning very quickly, all of you over there. Thanks so much for joining us and good luck. Good luck with what you're doing. We're always very excited on the FII space to know about young entrepreneurs, how it works, how was the idea created. So this was a very good chat to have. Good luck and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks a lot, Sonal.
Thank you.